Hello, hello, and welcome back to Mr. English Daily, the podcast where real English meets real life. I'm Luna.
And I'm Leo. And I have to say, I walked into today's recording in an unusually good mood.
I noticed you've been smiling since you sat down. What happened?
Nothing dramatic. I had a warm cup of tea this morning, my commute was smooth, and my favorite song came on right when I needed it most.
So basically, life gave you a few tiny gifts and you accepted all of them.
Completely and gratefully. Zero complaints.
You know what? That's actually a perfect way to open today's episode, because today we're talking about happiness, what it really is, where it actually comes from,
And why that question, what makes you happy, sounds so simple, but somehow isn't.
Exactly. The moment someone asks you seriously, your brain freezes.
It does. A second ago, happiness was tea and a good song. Now suddenly, I feel like I should have a 5-year plan for joy.
Right? Like happiness is suddenly a job interview question.
And you're not prepared.
So today, we're going to slow down and really explore this. We'll talk about why people often chase the wrong things, why relationships matter more than we admit, why small moments carry more weight than they look like they do.
And why real happiness is usually much quieter than anything we see online.
This episode is at a B1 to B2 level, so the language is natural and layered, but always clear. Don't stress about every word. Just follow the flow, feel the rhythm, and let your English grow as you listen.
And we have a word tour coming up later with some really beautiful vocabulary from today's conversation.
Strong words, gentle words, honest words.
Very poetic, Luna.
I have my moments. Now, if you enjoy learning English through real conversations like this one, please hit like, subscribe, and leave us a comment below. Tell us, what is one small thing that genuinely makes you happy? Something simple, something real.
Tea absolutely counts.
It always counts. Okay, let's get into it. So, Leo, let me ask you properly. When someone looks at you and asks, what makes you happy? Why does that question suddenly feel so enormous?
Because just a moment before the question, happiness felt obvious. Tea, good music, no traffic, no surprise meetings.
A very solid list.
Thank you. I stand behind every item. But the second someone asks seriously, something shifts. Now I'm not describing a nice morning. I'm describing my entire inner life.
And that pressure changes everything.
Completely. Because now I feel like I should say something meaningful, something impressive, something that sounds like I figured it all out.
When actually, sometimes happiness is just laughing at something ridiculous when you expected to be in a bad mood.
Or hearing from someone you love at exactly the right moment.
Right. And that's part of why the question is harder than it looks. Because happiness isn't one single feeling. It can be excitement. It can be peace. It can be relief. It can be connection.
Sometimes it's not even what people call happiness in the bright, cheerful sense. Sometimes it's closer to fulfillment.
And that's where confusion begins. People hear the word happy and they picture one very specific image. Big smile, big moment, everything feeling electric.
Like happiness has to arrive wearing fireworks.
Exactly. Very dramatic, very exhausting.
Very hard to maintain on a Tuesday morning.
But real happiness is layered. Sometimes it's pride. Sometimes it's steadiness. Sometimes it's simply feeling understood by another person.
So what people are often searching for is not just a fun moment, it's something that feels right in a deeper way.
Not just, this is enjoyable, more like, this feeds something important in me.
I love that difference, because a person can laugh constantly and still feel strangely empty inside. And someone else can have a quiet, simple life and feel deeply full.
Which means happiness doesn't have one shape. It changes depending on who you are and what you actually need.
And maybe that's exactly why people panic when someone asks the question. They're trying to give one answer to something that is actually many different things.
When someone says, I want to be happy, they might really mean, I want to feel safe, or I want to feel less alone, or I want my life to feel a little less noisy.
Yes, different words for different kinds of inner hunger.
So maybe the first honest truth is this. Happiness is hard to describe because we use one simple word for many very different needs.
And the more honest you are with yourself about what you actually need, the more specific and useful the answer becomes.
Which brings us to an interesting follow-up question.
Hmm.
Happiness is more layered than we think. So why do so many people spend years chasing things that don't actually satisfy them?
Because from the outside, certain things look like they should deliver happiness.
They look convincing. They look successful. They look very impressive on paper.
More money, more recognition, more followers, more proof that life is going well.
And none of those things are wrong in themselves.
No, not at all. The problem is how much hope people load on them. The thinking is, when I have that, I'll finally feel whole.
I'll be happy when.
Dangerous sentence.
Very dangerous, because we build up a future version of happiness so perfect, so complete, that real life can never actually match it.
We romanticize the destination.
And then, when something good happens, it doesn't feel as big as expected. Not because it isn't worth anything, but because we asked it to do too much.
That's such a human pattern. We don't just want good things, we want those good things to fix everything all at once.
One success to erase all self-doubt, one relationship to heal all loneliness, one achievement to make every hard thing feel worth it.
And life rarely works that way. It usually gives you a real, genuine moment, not a total transformation, just a moment.
Which is still beautiful.
Very beautiful, just human-sized, not movie-sized.
And maybe healthier, because if you only look for cloud nine happiness, and if someone is on cloud nine, they feel extremely happy, almost floating.
Then you might completely miss the quieter kinds of joy that actually last longer.
Lovely place to visit. Hard place to live.
Exactly. You can't stay on cloud nine. You'd be exhausted.
Here's something interesting, though. When people describe their actual best moments, not the ones they imagined, but the ones they remember most clearly,
They usually end up talking about people.
always people, a conversation they felt genuinely understood, a friend who showed up at the right time, someone who stayed.
Or just being completely yourself with another person and not having to perform.
That can change everything.
Because good relationships don't just make life more interesting. The right ones make life nourishing.
And if something is nourishing, it feeds you in a healthy, quiet, lasting way. Not just physically, emotionally too.
A nourishing friendship doesn't just entertain you, it restores you.
A nourishing home doesn't just look nice, it lets your body actually relax.
A nourishing relationship gives your heart room to breathe.
And people don't always admit how much that matters.
Because success can impress people, but relationships hold people.
A person can have a packed schedule and still feel lonely. They can have status and recognition and still feel unseen.
And the opposite is absolutely true. A simple, ordinary day can feel incredibly rich if it contains real connection.
A phone call that makes you laugh. A meal where the conversation flows easily. Someone saying, I know exactly what you mean.
Those things look small from a distance, but emotionally, they are enormous.
They can carry an entire day.
And that naturally brings us to the small moments.
The ones that don't announce themselves. The ones that don't look significant while they're happening.
But later, somehow, they stay with you.
A window open on a cool evening. The first sip of something warm. A joke you didn't expect. Someone remembered a small detail about you.
A quiet walk where your mind finally goes still.
What all those moments have in common is that they don't demand much. They just ask for your attention.
Which is why people miss them so often. Not because they're rare, but because life is loud, the mind is busy, and we keep rushing past the very things that could soften us.
That's why I love the saying, stop and smell the roses.
A classic for good reason.
Stop and smell the roses means slow down enough to enjoy the simple good things in life. Not everything has to be dramatic to matter.
And real happiness often hides in those ordinary places, not because it's weak, but because it's woven into everyday life.
Which is exactly where gratitude becomes important.
And gratitude is not pretending everything is fine. It's not forcing positivity.
It's noticing what is already gentle and good, even in an imperfect life.
Gratitude gets misunderstood a lot.
It does. People think it means ignoring pain, but real gratitude just says, yes, this part is hard, and this small good thing is still real.
The sky can be heavy, and the tea can still be warm.
Both things true at once.
And maybe learning to hold both of those things, that might be one of the most important adult skills.
Noticing what is tender and good without needing life to become perfect first.
And that skill gets much harder the moment comparison enters the picture.
Ah, the quiet thief.
Very rude, completely uninvited.
Because the moment you start measuring your life against someone else's, even a perfectly good day can start to feel disappointing.
Nothing in your actual life has changed, but now your mind is standing somewhere else, looking back at your own life with dissatisfaction.
And that's where contentment breaks down.
Contentment is such an important word here. It means a quiet sense of enoughness, not excitement, not perfection, just that grounded feeling, this is good, this is enough for now.
Comparison makes that feeling very difficult to hold because it trains your mind to say, yes, but look at them.
Their progress, their relationship, their confidence, their version of happiness.
And your own life starts feeling smaller, not because it became smaller, but because you placed it under the wrong light.
That's why the saying, the grass is always greener on the other side, still matters.
People think other lives look calmer, easier, richer, but they're seeing distance, not truth.
Distance smooths everything out. Real life is always more textured than what you see from far away.
Every life has tension. Every life has the difficult moments no one posts about. And when you compare your full, messy human life to someone else's curated surface, of course yours feels lacking.
It was never a fair comparison.
So maybe one quiet form of happiness is protecting your attention, not letting every passing image tell you how your life should feel.
Because a peaceful life is very hard to feel when your eyes are always in someone else's garden.
And once comparison quiets a little, another question appears.
What actually lasts?
Good question, because pleasure is real. A great meal matters. A holiday matters. A kind compliment matters.
We are firmly in support of good food and good weather.
Deeply committed to both. But pleasure and deep happiness are not always the same thing.
Some things are uplifting for a moment.
And uplifting means they lift your mood, your spirit, your energy. They make you feel lighter.
A song can be uplifting. A beautiful morning can be uplifting. A kind message can be uplifting.
And those things matter genuinely. But some uplifting moments are like sparks, lovely, warm, and brief.
They brighten you, but they don't necessarily hold you.
Then there are the things that make you light up.
And when someone lights up, their whole face and energy becomes brighter because something real genuinely touches them. Like when someone starts talking about something they love and suddenly you can hear the life in their voice.
That's one of my favorite things to witness.
Same, but even that isn't the full picture. A person can light up in a beautiful moment and still be searching for something deeper underneath.
Because deep happiness usually asks for more than excitement. It asks for meaning, connection, honesty, inner steadiness.
Not just the thing that feels good, but the thing that stays good after the moment has passed.
And that's why people can have a lot of pleasure and still feel strangely underfed inside.
Emotionally hungry.
Exactly. And maybe that hunger is what eventually pulls people toward meaning.
Because a life that feels meaningful has a different emotional texture entirely.
It does. Even difficult days feel different when they belong to something that matters to you. A person you love, a purpose you care about, a value you actually live by.
And kindness fits into that in a very quiet but powerful way.
Because when you're kind, life stops feeling so narrow.
You step outside your own mental circle for a moment. You notice someone else, you soften a little.
And you become part of something warmer than your own thoughts, which can change the feeling of an entire day.
Not dramatically, just humanly.
Which is why some of the happiest people are not always the most excited people. Sometimes they're the most connected.
Or the most useful.
Yes, because feeling useful can be deeply comforting, knowing your presence helped someone, that your effort reached another human being.
That gives life weight in the best possible sense.
And it also gives you something to look forward to.
And if you look forward to something, you feel a kind of warm anticipation, a gentle pull towards something good.
A quiet dinner with someone you love, a small ritual that anchors your week, a moment you know is coming and already feels like yours.
Happiness isn't only in the moment itself. Sometimes it lives in the soft approach towards the moment,
In the anticipation.
in the feeling of, I'm genuinely glad this is part of my life.
And maybe that's exactly why real happiness is so easy to miss.
Because a lot of it is quieter than we expected.
It doesn't always look exciting. It doesn't always sparkle. It doesn't always give you a story to tell.
Sometimes it just feels like exhaling in a life that used to feel tight.
Like sleeping well without dread, laughing more easily, sitting with someone in comfortable silence with nothing to prove.
Coming home to yourself a little.
Because when people imagine happiness, they imagine intensity. But real happiness may actually be closer to serenity.
And serenity means a deep, calm, and lasting sense of peace. Not empty, not dull, peaceful. A kind of inner quiet that no longer needs to shout.
And if you're only looking for fireworks, that kind of happiness is easy to walk right past.
Which is why I love the saying, happiness is homemade.
Because it's not delivered to you, it's built in small, daily, very human ways.
In what you notice, in how you speak to yourself, in who you stay close to.
In what you protect, in what you allow to matter.
In the kind of life you slowly, quietly build.
Real happiness feels quieter than we imagined because it's less like winning something,
And more like living in a way that gently fits your heart.
less fireworks.
More warmth.
Exactly. Word tour.
All right, let's slow it down and visit the words that made today's conversation rich.
This is your word tour.
Word 1, fulfillment.
Fulfillment is a deep sense of satisfaction that comes from something meaningful. It goes beyond fun or excitement. It's the feeling that something in your life truly matters to you.
For example, she found real fulfillment in work that made a difference to others.
Or, success looked good from the outside, but fulfillment is what he actually needed.
Repeat, fulfillment.
Fulfillment.
Word 2, contentment.
Contentment is a quiet, peaceful feeling of enoughness. It's not loud or dramatic. It's being okay, genuinely okay with where you are right now.
For example, she wasn't always excited, but she carried a steady sense of contentment.
Or, comparison can quietly steal your contentment before you even notice it's gone.
Repeat, contentment.
Contentment.
Word 3, gratitude.
Gratitude means noticing and appreciating the good things already present in your life. It doesn't require perfection. It just asks you to see the value in what already exists.
For example, gratitude helped her notice the small, gentle gifts in an ordinary day.
Or, even during a difficult week, he felt grateful for the people around him.
Repeat, gratitude.
Gratitude.
Word 4, uplifting.
If something is uplifting, it makes you feel lighter, brighter, or more hopeful. It lifts your mood and your spirit.
For example, that conversation was so uplifting that it stayed with me all afternoon.
Or, she listens to uplifting music in the morning to start her day well.
Repeat, uplifting.
Uplifting.
Word 5, serenity.
Serenity means a deep, calm, and lasting sense of peace. It's not empty, not dull, peaceful. A kind of inner quiet that no longer needs to shout.
For example, he felt genuine serenity sitting near the water as the morning began.
Or, real happiness sometimes feels more like serenity than like excitement.
Repeat, serenity.
Serenity.
Word 6, nourishing.
If something is nourishing, it feeds you, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. A nourishing relationship or routine makes you feel supported and quietly stronger.
For example, she wanted a more nourishing life, not just a busier one.
Or, a nourishing friendship gives you comfort, honesty, and space to be yourself.
Repeat, nourishing.
Nourishing.
Now our idioms. First, stop and smell the roses.
Stop and smell the roses means slow down and enjoy the small, beautiful moments in life. Don't rush past simple moments of peace or joy.
For example, he was always moving fast, so his friend gently told him to stop and smell the roses.
Or, this whole episode is really about learning to stop and smell the roses.
Repeat. Stop and smell the roses.
Stop and smell the roses.
Now our second idiom, on cloud nine.
If someone is on cloud nine, they feel extremely happy, almost floating. It describes a high, excited kind of joy.
For example, she was on cloud nine after she heard the good news.
Or, he looked like he was on cloud nine when he walked through the door.
Repeat. On cloud nine.
On cloud nine.
Now our phrasal verbs. First, look forward to.
Look forward to means to feel happy or excited about something that is going to happen.
For example, I always look forward to quiet mornings with no plans and a warm drink.
Or, having something small to look forward to can change the whole feeling of your week.
Repeat. Look forward to.
Look forward to.
Second phrasal verb. Light up.
If someone lights up, their face or whole energy suddenly becomes brighter because something joyful or meaningful touches them.
For example, her whole face lit up when she started talking about her favorite place.
Or, he always lights up when someone asks about the things he truly cares about.
Repeat. Light up.
Light up.
And those were your words for today.
Less fireworks.
More warmth.
Take care of your English.
And take care of your heart.
Tell us in the comments, what is one small thing that genuinely makes you happy?
We want to know. This is Luna.
And this is Leo.
And you've been listening to Mr. English Daily.
See you in the next one.